Chester, I see you. Oh, too close. A little too close. Oh. Doggo noses. Ah! I'm falling off the bed! Ah! Ah! Ogre, you pushed me off the bed. Look, you gave me so little space and then you shoved me off of it. You go in the side and I said, go girls! Nice, done, Gwen. Oh. Shake it off, Yotes! Good job, Gwen. Nicely done. Good job, Bella. Good pass! Nicely done. Gwen. Nice. I almost wore my ears in today, so I got you. Nice. Woo! Hey Dragonlings, let's chat for a moment. So, I haven't been vlogging on here much. I've been really busy. I'm still trying to find a sleep schedule. I think I might have it down packed, but still got another week of volleyball left. And after that, that's when I'll really know what my sleep schedule is going to be like, my official sleep schedule. I washed my hair and now my hair is frizzy on the sides where it needs to be trimmed. Anyways. So right now I'm just trying to find a balance of, oh, my food's done. Trying to find a balance between work, sleep, writing, extracurricular activities with the kiddos. Right now, the only one doing anything is, the youngest. She is doing volleyball, which, like I said, we got 1 week left. She had a tournament today, jamboree today, and it was the first one I was able to make it to, and it was interesting to watch. Because I don't know anything about volleyball, like, absolutely nothing. I know you hit the ball over the net, and you can't, like, hit it this way. You can with your wrist, if you hit it this way with your fists closed, but you can't, like, hit it this way unless you're doing, like, this. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, if you know volleyball, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that was interesting to watch, but I'm also trying to figure out school stuff because I've got stuff due every week. However, I mentioned in a previous clip where I was venting that I got an email saying that I hadn't turned in any of my last week's work when I fucking had, and I sent screenshots and I haven't heard back yet. I probably won't until Monday because it was late Friday when I responded to that email. I got it around, like, according to the email date timestamp, I got it around noon, but I was asleep, so I didn't get it answered until well after hours. So I haven't heard back about that yet. But like, that has been very unmotivating for me. I haven't wanted to work on any of my school stuff, and so I've only been working on it here and there, and now I've got all of it due, and this weekend is really busy. This week has been busy, which is part of the reason I haven't done it, but like, I could have done it yesterday. I could have gotten some stuff done yesterday, and I was just like, fuck it. If they're going to tell me I haven't turned in my work, there's no point in me turning in the next bit of work, because it's going to show it's not being done. So now I'm sitting here playing catch up on a Saturday. I gotta go get my food soon because it's still beeping at me. So yeah, I'm now playing catch up. I've got 10 lessons to finish, 7 of which are just reading, so it won't take me that long to do. And then I've got 2 labs. 2 labs? 1 lab. And the labs are weird because they separate it in a way where you like watch the video and mark that you have completed the video, and then you turn in the actual lab for a separate lesson. Like, so it's 2 lessons where that's literally watch the video and do the lab. And the video is literally a walkthrough on how to do the lab. So if you watch the video, you can do the lab at the same time and turn them both in at the same time. So it's really weird. So I've got that to do. So I've got 7 reading lessons, 5 more, like, this is how you do it, show your work kind of lessons. 5 of those, 7 of the reading lessons. The lab, which is 2 parts, the watch the video and do the lab. And then the final thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual assignments where you take what you've learned and input it, which is going to be great fun. But all of this is due before Monday, and it's Saturday. And it is... Actually, it's officially Sunday because it is 1 o'clock in the morning almost. I am going to be awake for at least a couple more hours. So I will get... I'm hoping to get the 5... What are they even called? Challenge activity lessons and the 7 reading lessons. If I can get that done today, I will do the lab and the assignments, individual assignments tomorrow. And actually, I think I can knock out the individual assignments Monday before they're due, because they're due at midnight on Monday, and I'll be able to get those done during the day. That is my goal. But I am already irritated with this class, and it just fucking started. Like, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be using a thing that constantly says you didn't turn in your work when you fucking have, and you got screenshots to prove that you have. It's bullshit. And actually, I do want to check out... I want to know if anyone else has had this problem. Showing all your channels. This one. This class. Ooh, someone is using Obsidian to take notes. Interesting. I've been debating on creating a Notion board that I can take my notes on. Ah! I closed it when I was trying to look through it. Damn it. All of this to say, while I'm just, you know, standing here looking at this fudge. Okay, there we go. I have not gotten any writing done. That being said, I have been waiting to, so I've been putting, let me see how I want to explain this. I have been, as far as like word count goes, I have been calculating book reviews this year because I do take a lot of notes as I'm reading, if I'm reading an ebook, and sometimes even if I'm reading an audiobook, I will leave myself a voice memo, like pause the story, leave myself a voice memo about what chapter something happened in. And a lot of times it's me just like talking back to the characters. You know how like when you're watching a movie and you like make commentary as you're watching the movie? That's me with books. Like I make commentary about the characters and stuff they're doing. And that's a lot of what my notes are. And then for my review, I've been keeping track in Notion of what I'm reading and different stats about that, as far as like my overall thoughts of the book, different things that I think could have been like strengthened and stuff like that. Things I liked, and then I added on my commentary as I'm reading. But I recently read a book. Amazon was like, you can read and listen to this book. We think you'll like this one because based on your reading, your past reading stuff. And it was advertised. Let me look back at Notion real quick, because I want to say it was advertised as a romance thriller. It was. So a thriller romance or a romantic suspense. I don't know. Based on the genres, I have it listed as a mystery, thriller, and romance, which I pulled from Goodreads. Anyways, so it was advertised as this, but it was so goddamn stupid. So stupid. Ugh! Like, from the get-go. These characters were supposed to be adults. Like, I don't know how old the love interest was. But I'm pretty certain, it never stated her age, but I'm pretty certain the female character was, like, in her mid-20s. Because it made it sound like she has been working as a waitress, and she graduated college not too long ago. Like, it's not been that long since she graduated college. So I'm sitting here thinking she's in her mid-20s. She acts like a fucking 12-year-old. I swear to God, she's so fucking immature. She looks at a guy, and every single guy wants to kiss her, supposedly. Like, we meet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different men. Almost no women. We don't meet any women. Oh, shit. I just realized this. We meet one woman throughout the entire book, other than our main character. Well, meet is a strong word, because our main character's female. The cook/maid in the house is female. And the best friend, who we never see until the very end, but to have several conversations on the phone with, is female. That's it. Those are the only females in the entire book. Everyone else is a man. The main character, the two main love interests, because there is a love triangle of sorts going on. And then she goes to a party and meets 2 other men, no women, doesn't talk to any women at all throughout this entire fucking book. And then at the very end, she dances with another stranger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 gentlemen. 5 gentlemen and 3 women. The book was so bad, y'all. Anyways, so what I've been doing is I've been calculating my word count for the reviews. I will type it up in Notion. I will copy that over to Scrivener and use Scrivener to calculate my word count. And even if it takes me a couple of days to actually input all of my notes and stuff, because like in the ebook, on the Kindle versions, you can leave notes in the ebook, like highlight the things you want to talk about. And I've been transferring that over to Notion. And even if it takes me a couple of days, I calculate all those words on the day I finish the book. Mostly because it's not taking me that long to finish books these days. Like audiobooks, I can, with the way my job is right now, I am finishing one every 1 to 2 days. Mostly I start it on one day since I work nights, and it goes from 6 to 2 a.m. and I start it on one day and I finish it before the end of the shift. I like shorter books though too, so take that as you will. I haven't read any of these long epic fantasies that are like 30 plus hours yet. Okay, most of the books have been less than 8 hours, and I listen to them on like 1.25 speed. So take everything I say with a grain of salt as far as like how long it takes me to read a book. As far as, and most of my books I've read this year have been audiobooks and ebooks. Anyways, all of that being said, even if it takes me a couple days to read the book, I have been inputting the word count for my thoughts and stuff for the final day, just because it's easier for me to keep track of it that way. And this book, I left comments in almost every single goddamn chapter because there was so much. I'm like, how can this character be this stupid? And it was literally just me highlighting his senses. Let me give you an example. So the whole point of this, if I haven't said it yet, the book is Bad Things Feel Best by Ivy Smoke. Smoke? I'm gonna pronounce Smoke. Ivy Smoke. And from the description, it sounds like it's gonna be good. It wasn't for me. Like, no. You know those kind of books that you read them and you're like, this has so much potential. This could have been so good. This was one of those books. It's one of those books where, like, I read it and I was like, I want to rewrite this and I want to do it the way it should have been. Like, there's only been a couple books I've actually felt that way about that I've read in the past couple years. And one of them was, I don't remember actually reading the book itself. I feel like I watched someone else do like a read along, and as they were talking about what happened in the book, I was making notes on being like, this is what I would do differently in this story. And I legit have a whole outline for that story for what I would do differently, and I want to do the same thing for this one. Like, I think that would be like the coolest thing ever, is to go through the book with all of the spoilers and be like, this is what happened, this is what I would change, this is how I would if I were the editor of this book, this is what I would have pointed out and said, do this instead. I kind of want to do a review like that. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. It would be spoiler filled, because we would legit go through the book from beginning to end. And while I wouldn't read it, I would basically read all my comments, because my comments were like, why the fuck did we do this? But for the example, like, she goes to work for this author. She's supposed to be an assistant to this author, only she finds out she's not the assistant to the author. She is the assistant to the author's assistant. And she doesn't even get to meet the author. It's really weird. It's supposed to be this mystery. Anyways, so a lot of my comments were, like, one of the very first ones that I made was, she wrote a sentence where it's like, her books weren't even that good. And I was like, my commentary was, she's bashing books of the author she's about to start working for? Excuse me? What the fuck is she hoping to accomplish at this job? Is she just trying to get her boss to fail? Like, because that's what it felt like. The tone of the book, that's what it felt like. And actually the very first comment I made was, the whole book starts off with her coming to the property, and she has to go through this private gate, and the guard at first ignores her, and then when he finally acknowledges her and she tells him where she's going and why, his response is, well, Miss Fox, you're in for quite a surprise if you think you're going to see her. I was like, is this foreshadowing? Why wouldn't she be able to see her? She's about to start working for her. Like, and legit, not even 2 pages later, we find out she's not working for the author herself. She's working for the assistant, and she's not going to meet the author herself until she's earned it. So yes, it was foreshadowing, by the way. In multiple ways. Plot twist. But yeah, I have a fuck ton of comments like that, where I just was like, the hell is going on here? And a lot of my comments, not gonna lie, are, how is this girl so fucking stupid? How old is she, 12? Like, legit, those are my comments. Because again, I was typing them up as I was reading and going, the fuck? So, yeah, But anyways, all of that to say, I was calculating my word count and putting the numbers into my spreadsheet, and that review alone, with all my notes, was 4,950 words. Just under 5,000 words for just that review, because I was so pissed off about it. There were so many things where I was like, this could have been great! My first 1-star read of the year, by the way. And I don't have very many 1-star reads. Like, this was a book I legit probably should have DNF'd, but I guessed the plot twist at the very beginning, and I was like, I have to see it through. I want to know if I'm right. I was right. I was fucking right. But I was very disappointed along the way. So, it was a book I should have, just straight up should have DNF'd. And I didn't. And that's why it's a 1-star for me, because, like, it was interesting enough. Like, I wanted to know what the fuck happened. Like, I wanted to know what was going on. I wanted an explanation. And even that explanation was like, it was subpar. Like, I guessed one thing right, but there was a lot of unanswered questions at the very end too. Like, it almost feels like there's going to be a sequel, but at the same time I'm like, fuck no, this doesn't need a sequel. No. Do not make a sequel to this. Now, I have looked and I've done like some semi-stalking of the author, and they have other books that are romance. Like, straight up romance. They're not the thriller romance. And they're all standalones. So I'm very certain this is going to be a standalone as well. But my god, it's just so disappointing. So I will have to say this though. It has done its job in the fact that I can't fucking stop thinking about it. It is the 28th of January. I finished it a week ago. And I'm still to this day so pissed off about it that I'm still thinking about it. And if I were to do like a stat at the end of the year that says, what's a book you were thinking about all year round? This is going to be that stupid book. I am going to think about this book until the end of this fucking year. And I can't stand it. Like, this book and the other book I finished right after it. Like, the other book I finished right after it was actually really good. I just hated all the fucking characters, but it kept me interested. Like, they were all shitheads. All of them. I gotta let the dogs in. So, all the characters in the next book I read, which is called Every Last Secret. So Every Last Secret by A.R. Torre, Torre. Good book. Loved it. No, you can't go outside. Come on in. Thank you. So, love that book. Hated all the characters. They were all assholes. But still, again, gonna be thinking about that until the... I'm gonna go turn the microwave off now. I'm still gonna be thinking about that book until the end of the year because it was that good. Like, the twists were... Like, I was trying... That was another one. Is another mystery where I was trying to guess everything by the end. And I just didn't succeed. Some things I had half right. Just because we were given some clues throughout that story. And I think that's the reason I like mysteries, is because I like seeing them through the end and finding out if I don't think this is hot. Not only is this not hot, my rice is cold. Fuck. Okay, I need to go cook this some more. I let it sit for I don't even think I let it sit for too long. It's just like it didn't cook. Anyways, oops, covering up the camera. I gotta go put this back in the microwave. Cook it for 2 more minutes. But, where was I going with that? I think the reason I like mysteries is because I like making guesses on what I think is going to happen. And 90% of the time with mysteries, I'm wrong. And I like that. I like being wrong. I love it when I get it right. But I actually like being wrong because I'm like, ooh, they did something I did not expect. I didn't see it coming. Whereas, like, romances, I know how it's going to end. The guy is going to get the girl. Straight up. We know how that's going to end. If they don't get the girl, it's not a romance. It's tragedy. And even fantasy. A lot of times people are like, they're going to defeat... Yes. Did you have to make noise? Woof. Ah! Big attack. Okay, so anyways. Even with fantasy, like, you know they're going to defeat the bad guy. You know it's going to happen. So, like, that's what I like about mysteries, and that's why I've been reading more of them the past couple of years, is because I'm like, 9% of the time, I'll make a guess, and I'm wrong. And I'm okay with this, because, like, the reveal is the best part of that mystery. But, this was not one of those cases. Like I said, it was a, it's supposed to be like a mystery thriller romance or romantic suspense or whatever it's called, and the plot fell away. It just ran away, and this character was so dumb that at one point, like, we had 6 or 7 chapters where the main character was completely convinced that this guy was a vampire, like, absolutely convinced, had all the data saying that yes, and it was like very Twilighty. I know why your skin is so cold. I know why you only come out at night, kind of thing. Like, it was legit a scene. I was like, one of my comments was, is this supposed to be like a Twilight fanfic, kind of like 50 Shades? Like, are we pulling another 50 Shades here? Is that what this is? Because it legit felt that way with the way the stuff was structured. But, so we could have a paranormal route, and it just fizzled out. Like, we didn't even get a full explanation, and it was just died. But now I've spent 22 minutes, ranting about a book that I didn't like, that again I'm going to be thinking about until the end of the year. That's hot. Okay. Again, I'm going to be thinking about it until the end of the year. And I hate it. I hate it so much. It could have been a good book. It had all the potential of being a good book. The writing was actually fantastic. The characters were shit. Hot, 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 hot. It's starting to burn. Woo! After a while, that starts to burn. But, like, it had so much potential, and that's why I'm so irritated and why I'm still thinking about it a week later. A week after I finished it. So, yeah. Now that I've wasted, like, 23 minutes ranting about a book that I hated, we can move on to other things. Well, granted, I wasn't spending the whole 23 minutes ranting about the book, but majority of it. Classes and books. No writing's been done, no plotting's been done, nothing. But I do have a lot of words this month because of the reviews, because I've read 16 books. All these little orange tabbies. books. Well, this one says request friend recs because I keep posting social media for recommendations. So if you got a recommendation for a book for me to read, apparently right now I'm really into mystery thrillers, and especially like if it's in KU, if it's in Kindle Unlimited, and double points right now because I'm doing most of my reading at work. If it's got the feature, the read and listen feature, oh my god, I've read 3 books like that now, and that has made it so much easier to make annotations while I'm listening to the book at work, because I can just pause the story, make my annotation, continue listening, and go back to work. So, like, that has been beautiful. I've done that for the past 3 books now, and it's been fantastic. Love that feature. It's a great feature. But yeah, if it's in KU, definitely will listen to it. Not listen to it, read it. I think I've got 18 books in KU right now. I've got to return a couple. Yeah, I got to return a couple. Oh, my rice is definitely done now. Yay! Now I've got dogs begging me. Let's see if you can see him. Okay. Then at least be able to see one. Because he's right there. There's my food. There's the dog. He is hardcore begging. And then at my feet, we have Jester right here. Also begging. Thinking she's gonna get my foodums. So yeah. Alright. I need to go finish some classwork. I need to eat my dinner, finish some classwork, go from there. I really want to write. I really want to write that story. Like, I want to like make a whole, let me see. I'll do that in a little while. I mean, I'm going to have to do it or it's going to bother me. I want to see if I still have that plot for the other story. I don't remember what book it was off the top of my head. I would have to look it up. Like I said, it wasn't a book I read. It was a book like I read. I listened to someone else do like a read through. And they were making their own commentary as it went. Kind of like I do with my reviews. So good. Anyways. I need to go because I got things I gotta do. And it's Saturday night. Well, Sunday morning actually. And I have a lot of things I want to do before I go to bed. Because tomorrow morning, the youngest has her archery tournament. Volleyball today, archery tomorrow. Tomorrow's family night. Probably not going to be doing family night because I'll probably still have classwork that's due. I'm so far behind. One of these days I will catch up. But at this point, it's probably not going to happen until volleyball's over. Maybe if Justin doesn't have work tomorrow, maybe if they call him off, he can take her to archery. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe he'll take her to archery. Might be what I have to do in order to get my shit done. We'll see. We'll see how far I get tonight. Unless the first 2 rounds were practice rounds, and now they're doing officials. Okay, yeah, if that's the case, it's 5 and 6. This is round 7, which means it's round 5. This is the last round of plays. I think. I didn't realize the first 2 were practice rounds. Which makes sense, but at the same time I was like, okay.
Like a pair of glasses, but tape over the eye. We can call them like Archery glasses.
Is that part of the read? Hey Dragonlings, it's Monday. I have completed my coursework that was due today, and I am almost 25% through this course, and I had a thought. This one is one that starts on a specific date and runs for so many weeks, and I have stuff due at specific times on specific dates, and it actually runs through May, I believe. Let me double check that. Like, we're expected to finish the course. When's the last due date that's posted? May 2nd. So the final exam is actually due May 2nd. I am currently on par with the course. However, I'm hoping at some point to get like a week ahead. Now that volleyball is ending, I have a couple things I could do to get me to that point. Because what I could do is I could, the hour or so, especially in the mornings when I take the childling to volleyball, I could be using that time. Usually I'm waiting for her to get dressed. I am like futzing around on either reading or you know, doing some social media. I'm doing little things that can pull away, that can pull my I can pull my attention away without any problem. But now that she will no longer be going to volleyball practice in the morning, I could use that time to knock out some classwork and just set a timer for like an hour, because it's usually roughly how long it takes for me to take her to the school and get back and wait for her to get ready to go, because she's usually ready to go in like 10 minutes. She's got everything ready, set out and stuff. So hour and a half, I could be spending that hour and a half doing classwork and knocking out 2 hours of classwork a day and getting ahead. So I think that's what I might do. The other option is that I could be spending that time doing my writing, because I haven't been doing as much writing as I want, and I would like to get more writing done. So because I got goals I want to do. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at this board. This is my Kanban board, and I set it up in a way that like I had stuff that is supposed to be on different colored sticky notes, but I was out of the sticky notes, so they're on same colored sticky notes. I found more little sticky notes of various colors, and probably not this quarter because I don't feel like rewriting anything that's on here, but next quarter I will do a little bit more separation with my sticky notes. Like anything that's writing related or editing related will go in one color, but anything that's like admin related or challenge related will go in another color, if that makes sense. And then like, I think these are mostly like reads that I've read, like books I've read, whether they've been fiction or nonfiction. And I think I want to keep that separated from like the symposium vlog or like the friend request posts and stuff like that. I think I want to separate those two and use different colors. And I've got enough colors now. I think I'll be able to. The other thing I want to do is I need to make another poster board. I have an idea. I want to make it like a graveyard for a headstone with RIP and everything. And the reason for that is because I have been changing some of my goals. And that's why these are over here, because they're in the goal graveyard, because I have already decided that I'm not going to be doing those goals this year. They're not going to happen. Those are the cover for the Monster Mates series and the covers for the Sultry Solstices series. And the reason I'm putting those in the graveyard is because of the fact that originally I was going to just write the 3 stories for each of those series, and I was going to go ahead and work on publishing this year. And I've decided that I'm not going to go ahead and try publishing this year. I'm going to have to remove them from my goals, and I've already removed them from my task list here, my Kanban board. But I'm not going to try publishing those because of the fact that I have plotted out more short stories for Sultry Solstices. It was originally 3, now it's going to be 7. And the Monster Mates, it was originally 3, and now it's going to be 4 or 5. I want to say 5, but I can't remember the exact number. And I've got some other ideas for that series. Like, I could make it more. So what I've decided to do with that series is I will work on writing it. I will work on getting it to my editor. I will work on getting those ready to go. And then next year, I'm going to contact artists about doing covers for them. Once I do some more research on covers, maybe I don't want to design the covers myself. I am not artistic enough to do that. Like, I know my strengths, that's not one of them. So I do not want to do the covers myself. But like, I've seen a few covers that I like style-wise, and I want to do more research into what sells, because these are short stories and they will be posted at like 99 cents. I don't want to spend a ton of money on covers. And like, the cheapest artist I know, her custom made covers are, I want to say $250 for ebook and paperback. And while I won't be doing paperback for the individual stories, I will be doing a paperback for the final cover. So basically what I need to do is I need to figure out what kind of style I want to look for as far as the covers go, and kind of get like a vision board put together of that for each of these series. And honestly, I think they're going to be fairly similar, because I have been playing with the idea of it being the same world, just different creatures in the same world. Like, obviously the Monster Mates, they live in another universe. whereas the others live in this world. But I've been debating whether or not they like cross over into the same world. So they could have similar style covers and be like interconnected universes kind of thing. So I've been debating doing that. But I need to go ahead and put a vision board together and figure out and contact a couple artists and be like, hey, is this a project you're interested in? I'm just trying to start planning ahead for next year so I can get an idea of how much it's going to cost me, whether we can do like a payment plan. Because if I have all the stories done by the end of this year and they're ready for publication, all I will need to do is worry about covers. Because I know how much it's going to cost me to get them edited. My editor and I are on a good enough terms that I know how much I'll be spending editing wise, just based on my word count and how many stories there are. And it's hefty, but it's not unreasonable. Like, it's doable. And I can focus this year on getting them ready for publication and then do a rapid release next year. So that's the thought process behind those, and that will automatically give me like 11, at least 11. 7 plus 4. How many stories is that? 1, 2, 3. The spider monster is 4. The shadow monster is 5. So 5. So 7 plus 5. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I just counted on my fingers. Don't judge me. So 12, that automatically gives me 12 stories. And if I do a rapid release, since they are short stories, I could release one every week and alternate between the two series. Like I could do a Sultry Solstices Monster Mate. Sultry Solstice, Monster Mate, Sultry Solstice. And one comes out every week. And then at the end of the year, I could publish the omnibus with all 7 of the Sultry Solstices and all 5 of the Monster Mate stories. So essentially, I could have, not end of the year. Well, yeah, actually end of the year, because I would give it a couple months after the final story was published to let it die down and then do the omnibus. And the omnibus would be available in both ebook and paperback, whereas the short stories themselves will only be available in paperback. Or not paperback, ebook. So that is my thought process right now and where I want to go. And because of that, I have removed the post-its dealing with cover design. Because while there's a couple things I could be doing for cover design, and I will be adding those to this board, I'm not going to be like worrying about getting the covers this year. I will be worrying about putting my vision board together of what I want style-wise for my covers. I will be getting the files together that I know I have. Like, there is a stylistic design I want for my name on my covers, and I need to get that file put together to send to cover artists. I need to go ahead and pull up the different artists I'm looking at using and being like, hey, is this a project you're interested in? This is the plan. And this is when I would need to start getting these covers by, and then figure out what date that is, because it will be next year, because that way I can spend a lump sum of money. And I'm thinking June of next year, of 2025, to coincide with the solstice. Like the first story, the whole point of the Sultry Solstices is they deal with the solstice. So I think it would be perfect for the first one to come out on the summer solstice of next year. And then every story come out a week after that. I think that's the best plan. And knowing that, I need to go ahead and get that information together and start contacting a couple of different cover artists and see if this is a project they're thinking about tackling, and start pre-planning for it, because I think that would be the best way to kind of make sure I am ready to go. All that being said, I probably will not be contacting any cover artist or worrying about vision boards or any of that until I've got all the stories, at least the first draft written of all the stories, and contact my editor and be like, hey, so I've got this series. 12 books, 12 stories. They're all short stories. Here's the word counts. Do you want them singularly or do you want them all at once? And how do we want to do payment plan? Because she is a wonderful person in letting me do a payment plan as far as like editing goes. So that is the current plan. That's the current thought process. And around all of that, with the short stories, I'm also still working on trying to get Hunter's Betrayal done, because that is the story that needs to be done before the end of the year. And again, I still need to contact cover artists about what to do there. I know who I want to use, and I know I can't afford them. So I need to either figure out how to start setting aside money so I can afford them, or I need to contact my next in line artist and be like, here's the plan, here's what I want to do. And I need to finish Hunter's Betrayal first, because I need to figure out if it's book 3 or book 1. It has been alternating between the two. It's been alternating as a prequel novella. It was originally written as a... Let me rephrase. The very first draft, it was book 3. because it had some snippets of what was going on in modern times after the events of Puck's Choice and Jenna's story. And then they found a journal that jumped us back into the past to how the war between the shifters, mages, and hunters started. And that was the whole point. And it was book 3. Then the version I ended up sending to my editor had all those modern parts cut out, and it was just the prequel portion of the story. So that's what made it book 1. And now, as I'm rewriting it and turning it into a novel, I'm adding those book 3 parts back in. And it's making the story stronger because it's one of those reflections, like, this is the history repeating itself kind of things. If we don't stop our shit, we're gonna fuck up again kind of things. And I like that reflection with modern times, the reflection of history with modern times. Because we go through that. History repeats itself all the time. We're going through that cycle right now this year in real life. So I do like that, that, what's the word I'm looking for? Moral? That's not right. That's not the right theme. Anyways, whatever it's called. I don't know. Meaning? Whatever. I don't know. Whatever word I'm thinking of, I do like including that in all my stories where it reflects back and has a meaning. And the history repeats itself is definitely the meaning in this series. It always has been. And lots of things that happen is them trying to figure out a way not to make history repeat itself, basically. And that's always been the case of this story. So I want to finish the new first draft of Hunter's Betrayal, the new novel first draft. And I want to get that sent to my editor. She's got... Puck's Choice is ready to go. It was originally book 1, published with a small press, and I got my rights back. Same with book 2, Jenna's story. It was with a small press, got my rights back. My editor currently has that one. She has finished Puck's Choice. She's currently got Jenna's story. Once I finish Hunter's Betrayal, I'll send that off to her, and I'll be like, okay, here's what our projected looks like. We got book 1, book 2, book 3, or book 1. Anyways. Whether Hunter's Betrayal is book 1 or book 3. Don't know. And then I will work on writing the last story in that series, book 4, near the end of the year. But all that being said is that is my main focus this year because of the fact that I want Puck's Choice to come out by its 10-year anniversary, December 3rd or 4th. So that's the plan. And that's how I think I'm going to tackle this. Is I'm going to go ahead and stop worrying about trying to get the Monster Mates and the Monster Mates series and the Sultry Solstice series is done, and I'm just going to focus on Hunter's Betrayal. I will get those short stories done, like I will write the first draft, but I'm not going to focus on trying to get them published, and I need to go ahead and adjust my goals to reflect that so that I can stop worrying about that so much. So that's the plan. That's where I stand with writing. And all of that being said, to kind of get more writing done, I have been watching a lot of Sarah Sutton's videos. She's been doing a writing challenge where she tries to aim for 20,000 words a week. And I want to do something similar where I have a good, better, best goal that I want to meet each week. And I want to do similar to her is that I write 5 days a week. And the reason for that is because I work Monday through Friday now, evening. And Gwen will be out of volleyball, so we'll just have archery to worry about. And I want the weekends to be set aside for like admin and family time and chores because like I need to do, since I have to go to the laundromat, I need to be able to knock that stuff out on a day off versus trying to do it on a day I've got work. Maybe I can do it on a day I have work if I have if Justin's off. That way I don't have to worry about it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I think I want to do that writing challenge, but instead of aiming for like 20,000 words a week, it will be 20,000 words, but it will be like a good, better, best goal. And my good goal will be 5,000 words a week or 1,000 words per day. My better will be 10,000 words per week, 2,000 words per day. And my best will be 20,000 words per week, 4,000 words per day. And I do still want to do like some 10K Saturdays 10K Saturdays. But I don't want to count that towards my writing goal. So the good, better, best is the week prior to any 10K days. So that is not including 10K days. 10K days will be like gravy on top of that. So, and I think I want to use these Post-its so that when I am successful in matching either my good, better, or best goal, I will put a corresponding sticky note on here somewhere. Probably on this side, since it has the least amount of Post-its, because like this is set up for the whole year with the coursework and work-related stuff. So I think it'll be best to put it over here, since I'll have the most room for it. And track whether I've hit my good, better, like designate a specific color for good, specific color for better, and specific color for best, and track what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and go from there. I think that's the way I want to do it. And I'll try it out this month for February and see how it goes, and maybe keep it going throughout the rest of the year, because I think that's the best way for me to go about and get my stuff done that I want to get done. And I know I can do it. It's just a matter of having the time and energy to make sure I can get it done. And lately I haven't been, because I've been adjusting to a new schedule. I've been taking the kiddo to volleyball practice in the morning when she's had it in the morning, or staying awake long enough to get everyone out of the house if she doesn't. And then we've been playing, I've been trying to adjust to the new schedule. I've been preparing for the new schedule and figuring out a sleep schedule, and I've just been so tired that I have not let myself worry about writing. The only thing I've been doing as far as writing goes is keeping up with my book reviews, where I jot down my notes as I'm reading, and that's all I've been doing. So, and I knew that was going to be the way it was this month, because I knew we were switching schedules, and I knew it was going to be a thing. I was actually really hoping to get the first short story done before my schedule switched, because I had those 2 weeks to prepare for it. And then it didn't happen. So that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But that being said, that is the plan for February. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog here so I can start getting this edited and uploaded for next week. And yeah, that's the plan. Like, that's the goal. I want to start February off strong. I'm going to start a new vlog on February 1st. And because that week is like a half week, I won't be aiming for the good, better, best goal. I will start that on the Monday following. But that is currently, Jester's outside barking at something. That is currently the plan, is that I want to go ahead and do that. And we'll see how it goes. Feel free to keep me accountable and see if you're doing this challenge too. Like, if I've heard a couple people already say that they're going to do the same challenge as Sarah Sutton. So, like I said, I'm stealing her idea. I'm just doing it a good, better, best goal. Instead of trying to force myself to aim for 20K every week, I'm going to aim for 5, 10, 20K. So, yeah. Alright. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, Dragonlings.